Today I'd like to offer up a few tips for some things you can do from a movement perspective when you're feeling constipated. So one thing that you could do is go for a walk. That seems to help quite a bit, but if you'd rather spend some time on the rolling around on the floor variety of options, then this video is for you. The most important element of this is breathing. So you can do all the movements in the world, but if you will add in a little focus on your breathing, that can help tremendously for two reasons. First of all, if you can send your breath as low into your lungs as possible, a lot of times the effect of that is a little more action and movement in the diaphragm. And when your diaphragm contracts as you inhale, it moves downwards. That's like a little gut massage all in itself. But also, as you lengthen your breath, especially your exhales, if you can get your exhales to be long and slow, not by forcing out more air, but by slowing your breath down so that the air leaves more slowly, you can work on that. That will tell your nervous system, hey, it's time to rest and digest, which will help to get things moving in the guts. So as we do all these movements, make sure that your breath is specifically moving, more importantly even than whatever the movement is that we're doing. So with that said, I'm going to use a blanket, and I have just one of these blankets. You could grab like a couch, like one of those small pillows, a pillow that you can kind of fold around, and that often works really well. Blanket works well, and you can leave your item more flat, just with like a little fold, or you can roll it, and you can roll it in a more kind of narrow way, or you can roll it in a thicker way, and all of it just depends on you and your tolerance level, because where this is going is right in your belly. So I want to try and get it as much in like the whole of my belly as I can. And you just lie down on your stomach. So if you got a pillow, kind of fold your pillow up to a degree where you can put it right in your belly. I kind of just aim somewhere in my belly button region for the center of my object. And then the first thing to do is breathe low into your lungs slowly and relax your abdomen. So you want your abdomen to relax so that all those ab muscles soften and your roll can sink a little deeper into your belly. And so as you breathe in, you should feel that breath move right around your blanket roll. And as you breathe out, you can imagine the blanket roll sinking in more. Once you feel pretty comfortable with that, you can lie flatter and put your forehead on your hands. That's just going to put a little more pressure through your abdomen, so you just decide if that's something you can tolerate. Keep your breath moving. Here you can also notice if your butt is clenching and relax that. Lying here and breathing is plenty. You can also bend one knee, straighten it, bend the other knee and straighten it, or bend one knee and rock your foot side to side. Slowly, not fast, slowly, or both, which will just move things a little bit more. If you find a particularly interesting spot, you just stay there, pause, breathe low, low, low into your lungs. And if this feels useful to you, you can do this for a little while longer. Pause the video. When you're done, slowly come up off of that roll. And then you might sit back into child's pose, which could just be sending your forehead down, your hips high, or if possible, you can bring your toes closer together and your knees a little bit apart, make room for your belly and sit back. We're going to come at this from a perspective of like squish and stretch, squish and stretch. So right now we're kind of squishing the belly region here. And you can come up to hands and knees, and we'll start in with a cat and cow pose, which would be like a Halloween cat, rounding your spine, rounding in your low back. And then let your belly drop. Lift your rear, lift your head. Breathe. Breathe in whatever way helps your exhales be slow and your inhales go low into your lungs. You can also start to move your hips in a circle as you do this cat and cow. And you can keep going like that, just working here in this cat and cow kind of shape. Or you can sit back toward that child's pose. This is going to be an exhale for me. And then you can come forward and send your hips down and your chest forward for a little cobra. And you alternate there. Then you might walk your hands more forward. And your hips may or may not actually go all the way down to the ground, right? That's not the important part. You could also start to send your hips back and to the left when you come up, and then you would alternate. So forward, and then send your hips back and to the right. Do a couple more of whatever you're doing. And the next time you sit back toward child's pose, sit back. And then inhale, come up toward knee stand. Now if your knees are tired, stand up and just totally leave out this lunging shape. I'm gonna take my right foot forward. So you can do this kneeling. You can do a lunge standing if you're feeling that, or you can literally just stand or kneel straight up and down, and we're gonna do a side bend. So when I take one foot forward like this, I'm gonna start to lean toward the bent leg side so that I get length on the opposite side. And from here I can take my top arm up, and you can too, if you want. You could bring it overhead if that's helpful to you. You can take one arm up, one arm down. Breathe. Come back up to center, switch sides. It might just be that leaning over is plenty. Breathe low into your lungs on the inhale. Slow exhales. You want to take your top arm up, overhead, top arm up, bottom arm down. choose. Come on up. One more time on each side. So if you've got right foot forward, you'll lean to the right. Come on up, second side. Take a couple of breaths. Come on up. And then squat. So you might be able to squat down like this. You might have your elbows on your knees and be squatting. You might be sitting in a chair on a ledge and bring yourself forward like this. Just kind of like wide feet, maybe point your toes out a little bit. This could be your squat. Lots of options here. Breathe. And then release that and sit down. Lie down. From here, bring your right knee up toward your chest. You can hold around your knee, your shin, the back of your leg. Your left foot could be down on the ground, or you could stretch it out straight. It doesn't matter which you do, but either way, I'll demonstrate it both ways. You can stay right here and breathe, or you can open your right knee out to the right. Then bring it across your body, maybe even twist a little bit. And just go back and forth like that. Knee to the right, knee across your body, maybe twist a little bit. Breathe nice and smoothly. Release, bring that back to center and switch sides. Bring your left knee in toward your chest. Breathe there. You can stay or slowly take your left knee first out to the left. And bring it to center and across your body. Bring it back in. You can release and stretch your arms overhead, your legs forward. And have both knees in toward your chest. Or widen your knees so that they come out toward your armpits. You know, it doesn't have to be straight in toward your chest. It would feel good to rock a little bit side to side. You can do that. And release. You can take your feet a little wide and drop your knees in toward one another. It also can be really nice to lift your hips up and put your pillow or blanket, whatever you've got, right under like where your butt and your low back come together. We'll call it that. That's where your sacrum is. But put your block or your blanket under there, or your pillow, whatever you've got, and relax your belly. And breathe right here. Breathe low, low, low into your lungs, so that as you breathe, your belly, your side waist, even your low back, you can think about everything around your abdomen moving out on your inhale and then softening in on your exhale. And if you do nothing else but focus in on your breathing in this way, slowing your exhales down, that's likely to help. And you might stay a little bit longer here, breathing. You might slowly take both knees in one direction like windshield wipers. And then same thing the other way. Move slowly, breathe slowly. Just do a couple of windshield wipers to either side. And then if you've lifted your hips up on a blanket or on a pillow, lower them down, settle. And then roll to one side. And come on back up. All right. You can do all of that or any part of that. Just something to bring a little attention to your guts, move them around, squish them, give them space, and most importantly, add a little breathing into your movement, to your day. Even if you're just sitting around at your desk or in your car, you can be working on that movement, and see if it helps.